All right, so I just implemented a, what did I implement here? Custom form controls in Angular 2. Um, so in Angular 2, we had this little form builder. We can allow it to easily create our forms, do our validation and everything. Um, and it's super simple to use. You create this. So this is my form. These are all the fields on my form with the form builder. And then in my HTML, on the inputs and everywhere, wherever I want, I put form control name and then give it the title of the field. So this here links it up to this field here. Pretty cool, pretty easy. Um, the issue that you'll run into is doing something like this. This is a custom input that I created, and I stuck this form control name on it, and it didn't do anything. And the reason why it didn't do anything is because this input needs to know that it can interact with, or how to interact with the form controller. So in here, whenever I run this, it's the field is this field here. It's a start date and it's a date and it's a time. So basically, I have the functionality that once both of these are filled out, it takes those two values, puts them together, converts it into a date, and then updates this property. But if you're using the form builder, it needs to know how to update the form as well. So how you do that is control value accessor, and this is pretty involved, but it's got an easy template that if you just follow, it'll work for you. So I've included a link to this very helpful article that gives you a step-by-step on how to do it. So basically, you implement this control value accessor, and as soon as you do, it's going to, like let me copy and delete these. So this is going to give me an error, and it's going to say we incorrectly implemented control value accessor. We need to add a right value. So if we add a right value, let's go ahead and add the right value. If we add the right value, now it's going to tell us that we need to also add a register on change. If we do a register on change, and so on and so forth. So it will tell us exactly what we need, the three functions that it needs to operate, which is right value, register on change, and register on touched. And what we did is I just went exactly what this article told me to do is most of the time you're going to want this register on change. So I put this propagate change function, which I'm not completely sure what it does, but I put it in there and it works. So that's good enough for now. And so what this is going to do is I'm signaling, this is going to inform the component of how to update this value if it's in a form controller. And so we had to implement that. And then what you do is whenever this value actually changes, you need to call this propagate change and then pass in the form value that needs to propagate the change. Also under providers, you need to add this. So this is going to, so what we've done down here with the control view accessor is tell it how it works. This providers lets our app know that it works. It lets it know that, hey, I'm wired up to change form values in form controllers. So I'll handle that. So that's what that is. And if we've done everything correctly, as you can see here, all I had to do was put these form control names on the custom element that I created. And let's print out the form value just so you can see that it works. And there you go. So I've just added a start date. And as soon as I fill out all these forms, it's going to register the on change and it's going to start updating the form. Pretty slick. So this form is in the parent component. And I'm updating values on within inputs within my child component. And it's bubbling up and updating the respective form field. That is pretty darn cool. So it's a little verbose, but that works pretty slick.